Hey folks, we're back here at Garage Talk Plaza once again. I'm glad you could join us today. But yesterday we had a couple interesting turn of events in the garage. So I'm in my garage and I'm all set to go out in the Miata. And I really was looking forward to taking a trip in a Miata. And my neighbor comes in on an e-bike and says, "Do you want to go for a bike ride?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't really want to go." So she says, "Well, I've been calling you," and I said, "I haven't get your phone messages." So I looked and I showed her, and she goes, "My number must be blocked." So I'm like, "Well, I don't know. So I come in, and I really wanted to go out in a Miata, and so I come in and call the phone company. I'm on there with them for like half an hour trying to figure out why her number doesn't go through, and now we have to go up like another level of management to find out why it's not working, and they're not making any headway. And we're on her phone, so I'm looking at my phone, and I get this message from George. I cut my finger off. I'm in the ER, so I told Susan, my neighbor, "You can have both phones here, and if you can figure it out, I'm going to go see George." So I went up and I saw George. He was basically okay. There was blood everywhere in the ER, but his wife's a nurse. So I got back home, and she's still on her phone. This is an hour. So I'm like, "Give me the phone." I told the lady on the phone, um, "Forget it. I don't care. If she wants to get a hold of me, she can walk across the street, right?" So she goes out on her bike and everything, and so I go back up on my trike to the hospital to see how George is doing. So I come back home and I see that her car is back in the driveway. So I stop over and I said, "I don't know." I said, "She's 76." I said, "An e-bike now at your age, I don't know about. So I said, "I had an e-bike," and I said, "I almost got run over on purpose once by this guy." I said, "I would suggest you getting a trike. You could ride him on the sidewalk." So um, she's like, "No, no, I want to get an e-bike." So I'm like, "Okay." So I'm leaving, and I go, "Do you want to try my trike before I go?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So she gets on it, and there's a helmet right in the back, but she didn't put it on. I should have made her put it on. She goes tearing across her front lawn, slams full speed into the guy next door's mailbox, breaks that off, and does a face plant on the guy's driveway. Like, holy shit. I'm like, so I'm hobbling down to get to her, and I can't get to her. So I call her daughter. I go, "Can you come over? Your mom fell off my trike." And so she comes, now Sue comes running up the front yard, covering up her face. There's blood everywhere. Everywhere, man. So, "Oh, you shouldn't have called Gwen." I'm like, "Well, what am I going to do?" So I'm like, "You can't make this shit up." So Gwen takes her to the ER, and I go up there later and see how she is, and she's got like a broken nose. She bit through her lip, and it's got to have a whole bunch of stitches up here, and she's in bad shape. So I'm like, "Oh man." So I go to the neighbor's house and I tell the guy, this is her neighbor, that she broke the mailbox off, and she broke a 4x4. So she was going pretty good, man. So I said, "Her daughter will come by today and she'll make it good, whatever it was." So he's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Just tell her we hope she gets better." So I go over and I get my trike, try to get my trike home. The trike is covered with blood. The front brake is smashed. The handbrake is smashed, and now it's like locked on, so it won't go anywhere. And the trip script throttle's all fucked up. So I bring it in the garage. I couldn't really drive it because you couldn't twist the thing to go, and the brake kept sticking, so it kept thinking the parking brake was on, and plus the handlebars were all bent to shit and everything. So I'm like, So I get up this morning, I look at it, it's still loaded with blood, so I'm like, fuck this. Put it in the back of the pickup, off to Goodwill. See you later. Bye. See ya. So we didn't have any vermiculite to report on this edition, but I thought you guys might get a kick out of that because I'm like, I didn't see her take the spill. I just saw her sailing through the air and face planting on the driveway. I'm like, oh my. So I said to her daughter in the hospital, maybe you should rethink this whole e bike thing with her. Oh, we're going to have a long talk when we get home. Like, good. Holy shit. So, kids, remember, if you need any vermiculite, we're here to take all your vermiculite orders. I got a new supply of vermiculite in, fresh from Pennsylvania, so we can fill all your vermiculite orders. So please keep those cards and letters coming. And I hope you enjoyed this edition of Garage Talk Plaza. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.